Hi, everybody. My story is called Just Like Bridget Jones. So I open my underwear drawer and recoil in horror with the tips of my fingers, as if it's got some awful contagious disease. I pick up a piece of black baggy material. It's huge. In fact, I need both hands to open it up. With dawning dismay, I realise I'm looking at a ginormous pair of Bridget Jones-sized underwear. I drop them on the floor in disgust, where they move and settle a bit, as if they've got a life of their own. Bloody hell, they're big enough to have graduated from college and left home. The reason for this unarmed expedition into the murky depths of my underwear drawer is that I'm about to reunite with my childhood boyfriend from school in England when I was 13 and he was 50. His name was Bug. He was my first boyfriend, he was my first kiss, and he was my first love. But I haven't seen him for over 30 years. And I look down at my late 40-something unfit cellulite body and realise it's really in need of some serious help. But it's too late now to go on a diet or have proper exercise, so I've got a bit of a cunning plan. I think I'm going to hide it under some fabulous lingerie. So I gird my loins and peer once again into my drawer. Nothing is remotely sexy or appealing. I suspect my grandmother has sexier undergarments. I take a look in the mirror, horrified. Where are my firm and perky breasts, my smooth pert bottom? Not only have I not seen him for 30 years, but in the intervening years, I've put on over 30 pounds as well, and ejected 2 children by natural childbirth in the process, completely destroying my pelvic floor in the process. Now, if I'd known how useful this muscle was, I would have taken much better care of it. I would have loved it and cherished it, perhaps shored it up with some load-bearing steel so I could still sneeze and laugh without it being an extreme sport. But with the date of Bug's visit fast approaching, I know I can't put off this awful, daunting task. So with some newfound courage in one hand and my trusty credit card in the other, I venture out into the terrifying world of intimate ladies' apparel. And what a bloody nightmare it is! Nowhere has bras to fit Madam's fuller figure, as one assistant so delicately puts it. They're either gorgeous padded bras to suit skinny little girls with tiny tits, or monstrous over-the-shoulder boulder holders for the matronly woman who is certainly not expecting to have any rumpy-pumpy whilst wearing them. I travel further afield as desperation sets in. Slim shop assistants cut into my already precarious self-esteem as they point out they've got nothing in my size. I'm dejected, thinking I might have to tell Bug not to come. Maybe I could make up some sexually transmitted disease and tell him not to come. And then I stumble on a boutique lingerie store, which somehow I previously overlooked. The owner of the store is just lovely. She's kind and gentle, and she finds me this gorgeous lacy bra, which actually fits. It lifts and it separates in all the right places, and actually makes me feel proud of my ginormous melons for a long time. Wow, it's gorgeous, I say. She said, yes, it does fit you rather well, she says. Is it for a special occasion? Blushing, I admit that I'm buying this expensive lingerie for the blatant intent of seducing somebody I haven't set eyes on in over 30 years. I realise I must sound like a bit of a slut. Bless her, she just runs off with a glint in her eye, saying she knows just the thing to go with my bra, and then insists I try on some French-style panties. I'm amazed. Even my fleshy cellulite bottom looks slightly more appealing when covered in this delicate silk and lace. So much better than those awful bloody G-strings, which slice you in half and disappear in for lunch, never to be seen again. As she wraps everything beautifully in tissue paper, she makes me promise to come back and tell her the outcome of this meeting with Bug and whether he likes my new underwear. Blimey, even Bridget Jones would be delighted with it. A few weeks later, I pick Bug up and I drive him back to my house. We sit on the sofa, snuggling and kissing politely for a few minutes. Then suddenly he sits up abruptly, looks at me deep in my eyes, and then rips open his shirt like he's Superman. Ugh. I think I see a shiny button spin off into the room. Imagining I might see a giant red S, I'm relieved just to see his pale chest with a few hairs dotted between his nipples. He looks inordinately pleased with himself. I mean, so much so, I think he might beat his chest like Tarzan. Speechless, I just stare at him, desperately trying not to laugh. He grins at me with his eyes twinkling and then launches himself at me with all the finesse of a young Labrador puppy. And then we're kissing passionately, like we did as teenagers. A while later, he stands up and holds out his hand. I'm a little nervous now, as you can imagine, but he pulls me up, gives me a lingering kiss, and then leads me upstairs. When we get to my bedroom, I nervously turn to light some candles I strategically placed earlier in the day. And when I turn a minute later, I'm shocked to find Bug standing before me, already naked. Like with a snap of elastic, he's ripped off all his clothes, and now here he is before me, stiff and proud. I don't know where to look and what to do. Do I just imagine it? Or did he just push his hips out towards me? He makes no move to come to me, so there's nothing for it, but I've got to undress myself. So with much sucking in of stomach muscles, I'd slowly take off my shirt and then bend down and peel off my jeans, revealing my not great body covered in my surprise present to him, the gorgeous, sexy underwear. Ta-da! Instead of saying, "Oh my God, Claire, you're so beautiful, and by the way, what delightful lingerie," he simply turns around, goes to the bed, lifts up the covers, and gets into bed on my side. I stand there for a moment as the dead weight of disappointment thuds in my gut, then quickly walk round to the other side of the bed and hide myself under the covers. Before I have a chance to say anything, he pulls me to him. Feeling my bra, he undoes it and takes it off and discards the most expensive item of underwear I've ever purchased without a backward glance. I want to shout at him, "Oi, do you know how much that cost?" He deals with my panties with almost the same haste. But after this initial rush to get naked, he now takes his time. He's loving and gentle and skillful and passionate. It's been so long, though, since anybody has seen me naked, and it does seem to want to visit every part of me. I wish I was thinner. I wish my boobs didn't fall into my armpits. I wished I'd trimmed my lady garden. Bug doesn't seem to notice nor care, however. He's often stopping what he's doing and telling me how sexy and gorgeous he found me. He is so completely uninhibited himself about his less than perfect body that it makes me feel a bit better about my imperfections. And to be quite honest, I'm just so thrilled that he's so excited. Afterwards, obviously, I ask him if he liked my new expensive lingerie, and then he admits that he's got really bad eyesight and he could hardly see in my dimly lit bedroom. Bloody hell, all that humiliation by snotty store assistants and all that expense for nothing. However, what I find actually really good is that, just like in Bridget, James, Bug seems to like me just the way I am. So sod the expense. Who needs underwear? Thank you.